The WNBA stars are furious that Caitlyn Clark just earned $10 million off the court. How can a rookie receive so much love, fame, and attention, and why?
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
First, let's discuss the facts. Caitlyn Clark signed a $75,000 WNBA starting contract. For most professional sports, that's not even a quarter. To give you an idea, in their first season in the NFL, the average rookie in the NBA earns over $900,000. Salary ranges for the first year are about $700,000. Even newcomers to soccer in the biggest leagues in Europe are earning hundreds of thousands, if not millions, right away.
With the first pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zachary Rizache from Lyon, France, and France's JL.
Why not the WNBA? The WNBA has never attracted enough fans to become a global sports brand, whereas leagues like the NBA, NFL, and even women's soccer have developed international followings. It's a different story. Low attendance, limited TV deals, and a general lack of public attention mean rookie wages are barely enough to turn heads, let alone build by a comfortable life. Because of its inability to appeal to casual fans and, let's face it, a product that hasn't always been advertised in the most thrilling way, the WNBA has remained mostly restricted to a limited audience.
And that's one way, but Wickham couldn't.
In the pipeline, you have Olivia at Pepperdine and keeping her team.
Players in the WNBA have typically missed out on the huge endorsement deals that their male counterparts enjoy, while NBA rookies sign multi-million-dollar contracts and land lucrative deals because the league has been mired in a cycle of low attendance, little media attention, and limited financial growth for years. WNBA players have had to make much smaller concessions. Everything changed because of Caitlyn Clark.
Back Benley. Here's Clark, a good look from three. She got it! The first three!
As soon as she took the court, she brought something that the league had been lacking. Suddenly, social media was ablaze with highlights of her deep threes, no-look passes, and fierce competition. Brands noticed, and companies that had never thought about sponsoring a WNBA star were now lining up to work with Caitlyn. She didn't just draw attention to herself, she also brought attention to the game. But here's the thing. Not everyone is happy about Caitlyn's efforts to improve the WNBA's reputation. Let's discuss the elephant in the room. The resentment that many WNBA players have had for years as they have worked hard and given it their all. But the multi-million-dollar contracts never materialized. 2-for-1 Clark bounced past there's Boston now. When Caitlyn Clark, a rookie, enters the game, she immediately becomes the face of the sport and earns more money in 1 year off the court than most players will in their entire careers. That must hurt. We've already seen older players make subtle jabs about having to work hard to earn your spot, but let's face it, this isn't about respect. Rather, it's about Caitlyn's general appeal and her capacity to draw in sponsors and fans in a manner that very few players ever have. The WNBA has a fantastic opportunity to capitalize on Caitlyn Clark's success and establish the league as a worldwide brand.
2-for-1. Clark, bounce pass. There's Boston.
But will they take advantage of it? Consider the opportunity to showcase her skills on a global scale and the worldwide attention that would have come from Caitlyn representing Team USA at the Olympics. It could have been a game-changer for the WNBA, but they missed it.
King, the New York Liberty are WNBA champions!
Now that Caitlyn is doing it alone, she is reaching a wider audience, attracting more fans, and obtaining endorsement deals that most players can only hope for. The WNBA is also playing catch-up, so if you think $10 million is incredible, hold on. This is just the beginning. In addition to her skill, Caitlyn Clark is poised to become one of the highest-paid athletes in women's sports because she knows how to establish a brand. While other athletes look on in disbelief as the endorsements don't come in, Caitlyn is out there establishing connections and expanding her empire.
I think it's more of, it's the official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball. So it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
Furthermore, jealousy will only worsen since Caitlyn Clark isn't merely altering the game, she is taking it. While other players have talked about advancing the game, Caitlyn Clark has done it by doing what no one else has been able to do in years: fill arenas and repeatedly break team attendance records. She is more than just a rookie sensation. In one season, she broke standards, silenced critics, and, most importantly, brought the WNBA into the global spotlight. Caitlyn Clark's impact on the WNBA goes beyond her incredible stats and buzzer-beater threes. It also involves her standing in for franchise attendants who have been there for years. Caitlyn destroyed them several times in a single season. For example, before Caitlyn, the Indiana Fever had trouble filling half the stadium, but once Clark arrived, tickets were sold out weeks in advance. Fans traveled from nearby states as well as from Indiana to experience Caitlyn Clark's magic live, and even away games became must-see occasions. When the Fever hit town, rival teams experienced their biggest attendance in years. Regardless of the opponent, if Caitlyn Clark was on the field, the bleachers were full. Now, let's discuss the playoffs. When the Indiana Fever season ended with a crushing defeat to the Connecticut Sun in the semifinals, most teams would have packed the house and the league would have returned to its typical low viewership, but not this time. The Caitlyn Clark effect continued to grow even after the Fever's defeat to Connecticut Sun.
Her number, buying her jersey, and she has been very engaging with a lot of her fans. This has been the scene perpetually across the league for Caitlyn Clark.
By the time the WNBA finals arrived, fans were still swarming stadiums to join in on the excitement Caitlyn had ignited, and the wave of excitement and the roving train of fan attendance kept the numbers going even though they had fallen off a cliff. Then it happened. The finals set a new attendance record that no one saw coming. Take a moment to consider that. Even though Caitlyn Clark's squad didn't make it to the finals, the excitement she created during the season lasted, and her influence was so strong that it not only raised the league's spirits, but also the Fever. After the Fever's playoff exit, many stayed to watch and helped make the finals a historic occasion. The crowd wasn't just there to cheer on their teams when the Connecticut Sun faced the Las Vegas Aces in the finals. They were there because Caitlyn Clark made them care about the WNBA fans who discovered the league through Caitlyn. The WNBA has failed to attract the attention of mainstream audiences, but with Caitlyn Clark in the game, that struggle is beginning to change. She is not just a player. She is a world ambassador for women's basketball. In addition to breaking records, Caitlyn Clark is bringing the WNBA to the attention of the world in a way that no one else has. She is the type of player who causes ordinary sports fans to pause and take notice, and once they do, they stay for years. Her highlights are going viral on social media, drawing in international fans who may not have previously followed the WNBA. Because of Caitlyn Clark, brands who previously disregarded the league are now realizing its potential, and her shirt sales are skyrocketing. Caitlyn Clark has already raised the standard beyond anyone's expectations, and she's only just getting started. If she can accomplish all of this in her first season, imagine what will happen next.
Williams, boys, can't hit, rebound Smith, another chance for Minnesota, Williams, connects, plus the foul, a chance for four.
Thanks to Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA is now receiving the recognition it deserves. For those who had doubts about her, the message is clear. She will continue to break attendance records, create playoff excitement, and push it to new heights. Regardless of whether the rest of the league is prepared or not, Caitlyn Clark is not just a rookie. She is the future and is leading the WNBA. While some WNBA players find it difficult to draw attention with their gameplay, Caitlyn Clark is not only dominating on the court, but also owning the conversation. Caitlyn has gained international recognition, garnering praise from fans, the media, and, most importantly, brands who are prepared to spend millions of dollars only to speak with her.
The intensity on defense that has started this run for Atlanta, the help side's got to be there.
How about the finish at the other end for Clark?
While many WNBA players are still awaiting their big break, Caitlyn is creating a global brand. She is more than simply a basketball player. She's a cultural icon, and some of her teammates find it difficult to accept that. Here's the real deal. The WNBA, as significant as it is only a stepping stone for Caitlyn Clark. While other players are focused on making the most of their positions within the league, Caitlyn is already aiming much higher. The WNBA is a platform, to be sure, but Caitlyn is aiming for the stars. Her goal is to become a global influencer who goes beyond the sport entirely, and she is demonstrating every day that the league is only the beginning.
I think I'm just excited, honestly. I'm not a professional golfer by any means, so I think just having fun and getting to be with, two of the best to, probably ever play this game. It's super fun and special for me. I'm a fan of both of them.
Were you aware that businesses are prepared to shell out six figures for Caitlyn Clark to deliver a keynote address? That's correct. $100,000 to $200,000 for only one presentation. And that amount is it's no coincidence that Caitlyn Clark holds a degree in communications. Her eloquent, intelligent, and poised attributes make her an ideal spokeswoman for any company. This is why she's not just a basketball player, but also an excellent speaker.
Now realizes it. Clark trying to take her defender, pulls up and hits from the mid-range.
In contrast to some WNBA players who have trouble putting together coherent sentences during interviews, frequently delivering half-literate, disjointed thoughts that fail to connect with fans or the media, Caitlyn Clark commands attention when she speaks and doesn't stutter or stammer through poorly written statements. For Caitlyn, the WNBA pay is a symbolic figure. The real money is in her brand power. In just 1 year, Caitlyn Clark has made more money off the court than some WNBA veterans have in their entire careers.
And everything that they do, not only in women's sports, but just sports in general. It's tremendous, and I feel very lucky to be a partner of theirs. And obviously, as you guys talked about, it started before I even was drafted by the Indiana Fever, so I feel like it was kind of fate in a way. It worked out perfectly. And
it makes sense why the jealousy is so intense. While some players criticize Caitlyn Clark's accomplishment, it only reveals their own insecurities. She is the voice of a generation, the face of the league, and the future of women's sports. In her rookie season, she accomplished more than many players have in a decade. The fact that Caitlyn is altering the game rather than merely playing it is too much for her detractors to accept.
This is after a tremendous move, and we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead of the game.
Since Caitlyn Clark's success isn't a coincidence, but rather the product of skill, hard work, and a natural ability to connect with people, she has already permanently changed the WNBA and is only getting started. As long as the jealousy persists, Caitlyn will continue to do what she does best, winning both on and off the court, with the entire world watching.
The coolest thing about her, and it's way beyond golf, I think her impact she's had on people. I think as a professional athlete, yes, you love the sports, you love the wins, you love the titles, whatever it is, but the way you impact people, and obviously...
Remember how we discussed Caitlyn Clark's 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike? It's incredible for a rookie, but for Caitlyn Clark, it's peanuts.
I think Angel will eventually be a good pro. I don't think Angel will come into the league immediately and dominate the way people think she will. And I say that for people who have never watched a WNBA game.
This player is the sole reason the WNBA is now globally relevant. She is breaking franchise attendance records, attracting millions of new fans, and generating headlines everywhere. Caitlyn Clark is more than just a celebrity. She is a phenomenon, and Nike is consciously sitting on a gold mine. When Michael Jordan joined the NBA, Nike seized the opportunity, launched the Air Jordan line, and made him a household name that is now worth billions of dollars.
I just want to thank LSU, my family, my teammates, my coaches, Kim Mulkey, everybody that helped me. Last year I transferred from University of Maryland and came to LSU, and I just joined the family.
With her skill, charisma, and fan base, Caitlyn Clark is the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. She is already shattering stereotypes in women's sports and drawing interest from people all over the world.
Bounce pass it, Smith again.
By Caitlyn Clark to recognize two bigs, and Melissa Smith sees that she has a wide open.
However, Nike hasn't even placed a Caitlyn Clark shoe on the market because, let's face it, they're afraid of the backlash. They know that giving Caitlyn Clark the recognition she deserves will provoke criticism from racists and gatekeepers who believe a young, white woman shouldn't represent a major sports organization. They will argue that she is only a rookie and doesn't deserve the attention, but the fact is that Caitlyn Clark's impact on the WNBA and sports in general is indisputable. She is doing what no one else has been able to do, making the WNBA significant on a global basis.
On September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe.
Consider the impact of a Caitlyn Clark signature shoe line. Nike is losing money as a result of their hesitancy. With Caitlyn's influence, Nike would lead the rapidly expanding women's sports industry. In addition to drawing in WNBA fans, Caitlyn Clark is attracting new people from all walks of life. She is a crossover star with a following that extends well beyond the basketball court, and her signature shoe would establish Nike as a company that encourages and supports trailblazers in women's sports, much like they did with Serena Williams and Michael Jordan.
For WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlyn Clark, University of Iowa.
With a degree in communications, Caitlyn Clark is eloquent and delivers motivational speeches that appeal to both fans and brands. Her charisma attracts millions of viewers eager to see what she'll do next, and her fearlessness, both on and off the court, makes her the ideal brand ambassador for Nike. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. If Nike doesn't follow through on Caitlyn Clark's promise, other brands are already lining up eager to align themselves with a once-in-a-generation star. What does Nike stand for again? Keep checking back.